Welcome back to Mike's Miniatures, the place for all things mini wargaming. And in today's Affection Friday episode, we're going to deviate from the Space Marines and actually look into a Xenos faction, that of the Eldar Craftworld Iyanden. Iyanden is an Anari Craftworld, and it was the greatest warship of the Eldari Empire. It now drifts through the stars of the Eastern Rim. Once its halls were busy and vibrant with life, but no longer. Now it is but a shadow of its former glory, a somber and desolate vessel where the dead walk and the living dwindle. Its journey through the aeons have been blighted with disaster. However, it is now in its pale reflection a spacefaring power. Large-scale raids by Chaos war fleets and the coming of the Orc Wog Wreckfist sorely tested the craft world's military strength, but it was the attack of the High Fleet Kraken that proved Iyanden's doom. Iyanden now teeters on the brink of extinction after being invaded by the High Fleet Kraken during 992 of M41. Thousands upon thousands of its noble warriors fell in battle against the Great Devourer, and the long, hard-fought space battle between the teeming bioships of the Tyranid fleet was initially successful, and for a while the craft worlders dared to think that their superior tactics and technology had carried the day. Then came another wave, and another, and another, and Iyanden was all but overrun. Not a single biodome remained untouched by the skeetering hordes of the Tyranid race, and while on the verge of utter defeat, Iyanden was saved from extermination by the return of their Prince Uriel, a gifted fleet commander, exalted in the reckless tactics against the Chaos invasion many solar decades hence, and his Eldar raiders. Despite the bitterness, Yariel was unable to watch his home to be destroyed, and the Armada penetrated the Tyranid blockade and ended the space-borne threat. The alien invaders had taken a terrible toll, though already. Fully 9/10 of the Craftworld's populace had been slain before the last Tyranid was cut down. 9 out of 10 Eldar, that is a lot that went down. Profound losses suffered by the Iyanden have led to a reliance upon the Wraithbone constructs, and the Ghost Halls now form the backbone of the Craftworld's armies. Silent ghost warriors of the Wraithbone automata tower above Iyanden's remaining guardians and aspect warriors, leading the most powerful weaponry the Craftworld can provide. But such strength does come at a terrible price, for the Wraithbone constructs protecting Iyanden are inhibited by the departing spirits, are inhabited by the departing spirits of Iyanden's dead warriors. Where it were not for the direst necessity, the seers of Iyanden would have their ancestors be put to rest and not be powering these battle suits. But the fight for their survival forces them to resurrect the fallen into these suits and have them fight once again. The light in the darkness, as Iyanden's world ruin is known, has come to dying out just completely altogether. Those that would see it be destroyed are definitely trying to do so. In typical fashion of Warhammer 40k, these poor guys are always seeming on the brink of destruction, even though they were the closest to basically rebuilding the Empire along with Baal Tan as their main allies, which we will be going into a Baal Tan force in a later video. So why collect the Eldar army of Iyanden? Well, first and foremost, the models, the Wraith constructs from Wraith Blades, Wraith Guard, Wraith Lords, and that they are just really, really cool models to build and to paint. And for all the Eldar armies, surprisingly, the Wraith Lords are probably the more tanky of the units. They're better than the average foot soldier. So if you want to play an Eldar army that's kind of more on the tanky side, this is definitely a faction that you would probably want to go for. And because they are tanky, they are higher in points, so this will be a much more elite force, so therefore a small amount of models on the battle. The downsides of collecting this army, thematic army of Iyanden, would be that they are pretty slow, so you will depend on transports. These models, I believe, only move 5 inches, 5 to 6 inches. They're basically like a Gravis Space Marine. So they're not very quick. So you're going to need to rely on a vehicle transport to get some units into key positions here. Um, they are high points. So if a unit of yours dies, that's a good chunk of your army that's gone. So you got to kind of strategically put them behind cover to help increase their defense even more and prevent them from getting completely shot off the board. Though they do have some pretty good melee with the Wraith Blades that can definitely help out. The other downside, is, especially with this army, is yellow is just a very hard color to paint, and that is their main color aside from blue. Blue is relatively easy, but painting yellow, and alternatively, there is another version of these guys where you can paint them with a white body with the blue accent color. Yellow and white, all in all, are just difficult colors, but man, they are rewarding and fun to play with. So here's an example from Games Workshop, just some art of what a good army looks like of Iyanden right here. You can see we have a couple of Wraith Knights, a Wraith Lord, and Wraith Guard make up the main body, and on the edges we have a few Aspect Warriors and a few regular warriors, but as you can see, vehicles definitely for the big strong firepower and the transports. But mostly, if you can't rush the board, you wait for the board to come to you and you just hold on to the last. Now, how you would definitely start this army, with everything, Eldar is actually relatively cheaper to purchase and collect. The Combat Patrol, the new one from this year, 2025, will get you a Spirit Seer with your 5 Wraith Blades that can be built as Wraith Guard if you wanted, the ones that are shooty. But Wraith Blades can have the Force Battle Axe with a shield. It's kind of like a shield generator for them. Or they could do the twin swords for dual wielding. One's more tanky and one gives more attacks. So it's basically what do you feel like having with that one? Then you have your special units in 2 5-man squads for a total of 10 Dire Avengers. These guys are your shooting models, and then your Warp Spiders are your guys who are also really good at shooting and heavy hitters, but their biggest thing is they can teleport on the field. They're basically like the Terminators, where you can teleport at different spots onto the field to help get them moving when you're deploying them and things like that. So they're kind of like your shock troops right here. MSRP from Games Workshop, this Combat Patrol will run you about $170, but in my affiliate link in Amazon at time of recording here in July, you could get this same box for $139.72. That's almost $40 to $50 off right there. So definitely, if you want to start collecting this army, use my affiliate link down in the description to help support the channel and get this box at a great discount right here. How I would expand the army for a more thematic list right here would be just purchase a Wraith Lord to help kind of lead the Wraith Guard and Wraith Blades, however you get it, and get 2 more boxes of the Wraith Guard or Wraith Blades. Build them how you want. As you can see in this picture, this is the Wraith Guard with the shooty options right here, and these guns are definitely really good for anti heavy infantry and some vehicles it can help take out. And you could definitely get, so for like your Dire Avengers or even a Wraith Blade unit or whatnot, I would get a Wave Serpent for transport to help get them across the field really quickly. And then once you drop them off, the Wave Serpent is also a very good tank for the Eldar. It's fast and it has some relatively good shooting. However, I would also get, just for thematic and because it's a very powerful unit, get a box of Eldar Rangers. These guys can deploy in the middle of the battlefield at the start, and they can help you get secure objectives and basically be like any other sniper and just start picking out characters and or other units to kind of whittle them down while your slow moving army starts marching forward to start taking objectives. These guys can take out some key targets for you, and if they happen to get wiped out, I mean, they get wiped out, but they have some benefits to help prevent them from being hit. All in all, these 5 boxes right here will come at an MSRP of about $315. But again, use my affiliate links for Amazon to support the channel. It doesn't cost you anything. You can get these same boxes for about $217.18. It's all in all just a really good way to get this army started, and that will get you over 1,000 points, which is a good start. This with the combat patrol is a good start to this army right here. But that has been my notes on Craftworld Iyanden, and my opinion on how you would start this army. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Leave a comment, like, and subscribe. Share this video with those who like space elves and how they would thematically start one of these armies right here. And if you have a friend, family member, or whatever, you want to get something for them, or you know that they're planning on getting something, point them to my affiliate links. Again, this is how you can financially support the channel so I can make more of these videos and guides and things like that. Until next time, I've been Mike, and this is Mike's Miniatures, and bye-bye.